and I want to welcome today, a very big day. We're gathered here to celebrate Troop 73's rock star, Sam Silvestri, for earning the rank of Eagle. We'll hear many thoughts today about what that means, but I want to begin by echoing what many other Scoutmasters have mentioned on these occasions. Eagle is not something that you get, it's not something you receive. You can only get it the old-fashioned way. You have to earn it. Sam has been an amazing scout in Troop 73. He's been so consistent, and the only way you can get the rank of Eagle is by putting in the kind of work that Sam has done. It takes focus, it takes commitment, and that is a rare thing in today's world. I said Sam's a rock star, and you'll notice that there are many people here today with the sash on, which is a mark of Scouting's Honor Society, the Order of the Arrow, where I've had the honor of seeing Sam in action. He got way into the ceremonies team at Tulaka Lodge and did amazing things in that role. I'm not going to go on about that, but during our final Scoutmaster conference before he earned Eagle, he told me something really impressive to me and what was important to him about being part of that team. He wanted the new guy to have a really amazing moment. And that, for me, is a sign of really what Sam is about. He has a big, big heart. He's always been a big guy in our troop. He's been an impressive presence, but his heart is huge. And I've had the honor of really seeing that come out on amazing adventures and amazing stuff at Tulaka Lodge. And I'm just so glad to be here to welcome everyone for this occasion. And now it's my pleasure to welcome you all to this court of honor for Sam. And may I have Scouts of Troop 73 please present the colors.
So we're actually missing one of the Scouts of Troop 73, so I'll be standing in for that. My name is Alex Perry, but I'll introduce myself later. I'd like to start with the flag ceremony. So can I get the company attention? Please all rise for the flag ceremony. Color guard attention. Color guard advance.
Mark on march. Forward march. Ready.
Color guard present. Scouts salute. For those not in uniform, please place your hand over your heart. Please join allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Scout sign for all Scouts present. Please join me in the Scout oath. On my honor, my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. 2. Color guard, post the colors. Color guard reform. Color guard dismissed. Color guard A's, company A's, please be seated. So as I said before, my name is Alex Perry. I'm the 2021 Lodge Chief of Tulaka Lodge of the Order of the Arrow, as Mr. Schmalzer said, and I'm a good friend of Sam's. So I'm going to start by kind of going over Sam's scouting career. In 2009, Sam started his scouting journey as a first grader when he joined Nevada's Pack 27. Sam bridged into Troop 73 in 2014 and was inducted into the Order of the Arrow in 2017. As a scout, among many other activities, Sam traveled to Washington, D.C. and West Virginia for the National Jamboree. He made a canoe trek through the Great North Woods of northern Minnesota and Canada at Northern Tier High Venture Base, and most recently completed a 50-mile backpacking trip at Philmont Scout Ranch in New Mexico. He's proud to have attended the National Order of the Arrow Conference, completed National Youth Leadership Training, and is a founding member of Nevada's first aviation post. Today, I'm pleased to serve as your MC as we honor Sam for attaining Scouting's highest rank, the rank of Eagle Scout. I would like to call up Willie Coronado, Scoutmaster of Troop 2000, to convene this National Court of Honor.
Thank you, Alex. Good afternoon. My name is William Coronado, Scoutmaster at Troop 2000 in San Rafael, an associate advisor for the Order of the Arrow Calaco Lodge. Got the honor and pleasure to work with Sam through the National Jamboree Lodge growing up. So it's a pleasure, an honor and a pleasure. A Eagle Court of Honor is a national Eagle Court of Honor. So authority vested by the Marine Council, the National Office of the Boy Scouts of America. I open this Court of Honor to be convened. Thank you.
I would like to call upon Chalaco Lodge Advisor Matt Barnkoff to please come up and say a few words. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. This is quite the honor, buddy. So, Sam, I've always looked up to you, physically, being the little short guy I am, and for how you've handled yourself through your scouting journey. It's been great. You're a lot of press rings along the way. So, congratulations. I first met you when we were prepping for a National Jamboree trip back to West Virginia. So the Marine Council had two groups, 72 scouts from Marin and Sonoma County, and you were part of it as a young guy. So we did the preparations for it, and then we took off. And while in West Virginia, we visited Gettysburg, and we went to Washington, D.C., and visited all the monuments, and eventually ended up at the Jamboree site in West Virginia. It's 35,000 scouts there, and you were part of it, camping there. So while we were there, there was a special Yoda Eagle ceremony that Marine Council does. And you were videotaping it. I don't know if you remember this, but it was quite the time that we had there. And I'm glad you were there. That's part of the things that you did while on your scouting journey. Can you stand up for a second, please? And let people see your sash. Turn around. So these are all merit badges that a scout has to earn. This is part of their journey to scouting. They have to have a minimum of 21 merit badges. 13 of them are Eagle required. And they are everything from citizenship of the nation to first aid to personal management with money, physical fitness, and everything. You also performed 16 months of leadership. So it's a big deal to earn what you earned. Congratulations. You also performed or participated in the Philmont trek last year. That was a 50-mile hike in New Mexico. It was a great time. I was fortunate enough to go along with him and Nestor and a whole bunch of these guys over there. You also joined the Order of the Arrow, which is, as Mr. Stasi said, the Brotherhood of Cheerful Service. You went to NOAC in Indiana with 15,000 other scouts, correct, right? Yeah. and you also stepped up and got on what we call the leadership team, the LEC. You were the scout that I got to advise for membership in the OA and for the ceremonies team. So COVID hit, and part of his job was to visit other Cub packs and introduce them to what scouting has to offer. But due to COVID, we couldn't do that. So you made a video along with 3 other scouts. The group of these gentlemen there. And out of all the scouting in the country, a lot of councils actually closed the last 2 years. Marin Council was the highest growing council in Marin County last year. I think part of it was because of that video that they were able to show to other Cub packs to get them to advance in scouting. So Sam did a ton of video work for us, which you're very good at. And then you also, on the ceremonies team, he was one of the characters. And that requires training, reviewing of all your scripts, and then
there is a military that we do the two ceremonies, brotherhood and the induction. So he was kind of the prime, you were the, weren't you? Yes, as I recall. I've been going through my mind lately. And then, I don't know if you remember, but well, we were at the Jamboree during the Eagle Court of Honor for Yoda. The key three people from Irvine, Texas, who basically run scouting were there. And they talked about the importance of becoming an Eagle and the journey through scouting. And then they, there's also a senator from Arkansas there. And I don't know if you guys who were at Jamboree remember this, but that senator is an Eagle. And he talked about his journey through scouting. And after he got into Eagle, he did what commonly happens. He stepped away from scouting, applied for college, went to college, got his master's, got married, bought a house, and his parents gave him that box. And for you parents, you know what the box is. That's all the personal stuff that they've stored, like your baseball mitt and your video cameras and everything that means a lot to you. And your parents give that to you. So he's going through that with his wife, and he wants to show her his Eagle medal. It's not in there, so he figures he must have lost it, or his parents still have it somewhere at their house. So after his mom passed away, he's going through his mom's jewelry drawer, and he sees her wedding ring, her engagement ring, a bunch of really special jewelry, and then he goes to the family safety deposit box. And in that family safety deposit box, which is the most precious parts of his family, it's a box for his parents. He finds this little white box and he opens it up, covered in cotton, takes the cotton off, and there was his Eagle medal. That's how much his mom respected that Eagle medal that you're about ready to get. Your journey has been huge, and you're really not going to understand what you've done until you get a couple more years under your belt and you've had more challenges in your life. I'm going to steal somebody else's thunder, but out of every 100 scouts that join scouting, only 4 of them make it to Eagle. You're one of the 4. And while I've been Scoutmaster, I've met a lot of people who ask me what I'm doing right now. And a lot of times I'll tell them I'm involved in scouting. And a lot of people say, I was a scout, and I'll ask them what rank they made it to. And most of the time they'll say tenderfoot, some of them say life, star, there's different ranks. And they all say that was the biggest, most all of them say that was the biggest regret that they never earned their Eagle. And I've also met a few that are Eagles. And everyone that I've met, I've asked if they ever regretted getting their Eagle, and not one of them has. So congratulations, this is a huge thing.
So I believe our second guest speaker is not yet here. Is Ryan Moynihan? Has he joined us? Okay, he is not. So Mason, you want to give us a picture? So at this point,
I'd like to say a few words, may I?
of course,
Once again, William Coronel, Scoutmaster, 2000, Associate Advisor for the Tlaco Lodge. It's been a pleasure. I was one of the leaders going to the National Jamboree, and Sam was there, as Ned mentioned. He got this talent about making these movies. So we're on the bus, our second day or something, and we're going from city to city, staying in hotels before we arrive to the National Jamboree, the site of the Jamboree. He said, "You want to take a look at this?" He gave me his phone. And there is a film about the day before with music in the whole bit. I was so impressed by that. I go, this is really good. Why don't you make one every day or every time you have a chance? So I don't know how many you made, but there were quite a few really nice films with the lettering and the music. I'm not too good at that. I was very impressed by that. And that's how he has the passion for that sort of thing. I guess he takes it in the school, and also he likes to do it. That was great. I always remember that. That's how he got to do the large films and so on. He was very good with another group of guys. They got together and they did that, which was a great service. But I always remember And you were very young, and you have big eyes and a big heart, and always looking around. And I remember taking pictures of you in Washington, D.C. and so on. And now to see you growing up, a few years later and earning your eagle is just, it's really good. I wish you the best in school and whatever you're going to do in life. And congratulations. On behalf of the Marine Council, the National Boy Scouts of America, I congratulate you. Thank you, sir.
So now we're going to have an open floor. And if you don't know, that's the time when anyone can come up and say a few words, tell a funny story. So do we have any people who would like to start us off?
Sure, there's someone up there.
Anyone here? Mason, you want to tell them? Do we have any volunteers? Yes?
Hello, my name is Kenny Larson. I am an Eagle from Troop 73. I've been out for a while, but I'm glad to be here to celebrate Sam's accomplishment. I didn't have too much to say, but I just remember thinking that, well, I was part of the ceremonies team for a long time in the Order of the Arrow, for, 6 years or so. And I remember thinking, sure, I had some challenges, I had some adventures, so to speak, as part of the ceremonies team. But once COVID began, I thought to myself, dang, I'm so thankful I'm not part of the ceremonies team right now. And I just thought about how much work it would take to provide a positive ceremonies experience to people who are joining the Order of the Arrow, and how to do that the right way, the safe way during COVID. I think that would just take an extraordinary amount of effort. And from everything I've heard, you really kicked butt. It was awesome. So other than that, I just want to say, thank you, Sam, for being part of the troop, part of the Order of the Arrow. Thanks for just being there and being ready to help. So thanks.
Do we have any other volunteers?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Corey Reed. I'm the charter rep for Troop 73 in Good Shepherd Church. So I'm new to Troop 73. The first time I met Sam was when my son was going on his first outing, and it was like an overnighter at Camp Tamarancho. And I'm kind of sitting back, as a new leader, don't get too involved with your kid, kind of stand back. And I see Sam walk up. And Sam has his little camping folding chair and he sits down. And it looks like he's setting up a picnic while Jamie's setting up the axe yard. And I'm like, what is this guy doing? I want to go see what this guy's doing. And he sets up his chair and he has his water bottle and pulls out a Bluetooth speaker and he gets his phone going. And all of a sudden, Jamie's starting to teach about like the axe yard to all the new scouts. Here comes Sam. Puts on his Russian music or something, starts blaring it, and just hangs out and watches. And I said, Sam, is this what this is about? He's like, oh yeah. I was just like, this is the troop where I want my kid to be, is to be someone like Sam. And then I realized that this wasn't Sam kind of sitting back making fun. It was his reflection tour. It was his last year. And this became more apparent when I went to the summer camp July, and at Marin Sierra. And Sam came there, but he could only stay for a couple of days. And you could just really see what he wanted to do there. It was just take it all in one last time. So Sam, thanks for sharing these little moments with me. I wasn't here so long with you, but I appreciate it.
Okay. Do we have anyone else? Jack?
So a few people mentioned this already, but I was a part of the Northern Tier Trek in July, August 2019 with Sam and a few of these other fine people sitting over there. And we had a fun trip. I can honestly say that was one of the trips that changed me as a person, and I hope Sam can possibly say the same thing. We were having a lot of fun. Everyone was just going along, and then we decided to take a morning paddle. And we got up at 4 a.m., which didn't feel the best. And we were out on the water before the sun rose. And I don't know if we knew at the time, but it was really, really, really foggy. And we couldn't see 20 feet in front of us. And the sun rose, and the whole sky was just bright. And it was just kind of fine. And we kept going, and we knew that we had to get out of the water and bring our canoes over the bridge. Don't know if we knew it was a bridge at that point, to go around some what we thought were level 1 rapids, which are just a little bit of rocks in the water, nothing we can't manage because we've done it a little bit before. And we keep going. We didn't see the part where we get out of the water. I was sitting at the very front of the very first canoe that day, and Sam was right behind me. And luckily, our guide was in the back, steering, or else we probably would have gotten hurt. We went off a waterfall. We weren't trying to go off a waterfall, but we went off a waterfall. And all of our stuff got dumped in the water. Luckily, our big bags were strapped in the canoes, but 2 of the canoes went off the big waterfall, and the other 2 went off a little side slough, and they got dumped in as well. And it was quite the experience, and I'm sure everyone on that trip remembers this morning very clearly. I can see the nod of their heads over there. It was early in the morning, we were all tired, but now we were very awake in it was pretty cold water, in all of our clothes and our hiking boots, and at that point, our hiking boots weighed probably 10, 15 pounds each because they were soaked in water. So it's pretty hard to push our canoe over the shore, and the water was moving pretty fast. We were just trying to push our canoe to the shore, we finally made it to shore. Now, at that point, I didn't have my glasses on. I had a band on the back that floated and everything, it fell off, and I couldn't see because I can't see very well without my glasses. And I was kind of freaking out because I couldn't see, and that's kind of important. And we made it to the beach finally. It took longer than it should have. I probably remember it being longer than it actually was. But we made it to the beach, and we found everything-ish from our canoe except my glasses. And Sam was looking at it, and he's like, "There's something yellow on the tree over there." And I was like, "Is that my glasses?" And he jumps in the water and goes and grabs them. And that was one of the better moments of that trip. Because I could see again. That was fun. Luckily, it was the second to last day, so it wasn't too bad. But we all got our stuff. I don't know if we actually lost anything that day. It was just a pair of sunglasses, maybe.
We lost my sunglasses case.
Oh well. Deal with that. And we got to camp at around noon that day. We hung out the rest of the day, and we all fell asleep. Every single one of us around the fire pit, and it was a good night. I think that's it.
I'd like to bring up Brian Moynihan, who is late, but he has it. I accidentally put in my phone as 3, and so I did, and I had like a 30-minute thing beforehand, and then I see a call from Sam. And I'm like, oh no. I checked his text from me. I was like, yep, I messed up. So I'm here. I rushed. It said 20-minute drive. Got here in 15. All is well. Sorry, I ran up the stairs. Need a breath for a sec. So I'm here to talk about Sam. So my first real, the way I interacted with Sam most was in the Order of the Arrow. On our side, Boy Scouts, a lot of the people you see here are in that. And so my first real major interaction with Sam was when we started doing ceremonies together. And so when we were doing that, Sam was Alawat Sakima, or the mighty chief. Now, all of us know Sam pretty well. He's a very big guy, but his voice does not follow suit, as you may think. So Sam was having a really hard time projecting, because we don't have mics. We're out in the woods for this stuff, right? You're not going to have these fancy systems here to help you out. You have to be very loud, but also you don't want to be screaming at people because there are people standing right in front of you as well. So you have to project
really hard. And so one of the things that I worked with Sam and also with Alex, who was on the team as well, was just sort of like projecting. And it was really interesting to watch them go from these guys who talk like this and say, hey, yeah, this is my line, to really coming into their own and watching Sam really become and embody the mighty chief. Because while every character has their importance to the ceremony, the mighty chief is the one like that draws the eye. I mean, he's the mighty chief, right? He's the guy in charge. And so one of the things, while it is impressive, his stature, the thing that matters most is the way that you present yourself as the mighty chief, right? You can take the smallest scout there, but if they have the presence and they bring that to the ceremony, that is what's going to leave the impact. And so watching Sam become the mighty chief, really embody what it is, and watching, like when we did when we were doing these ceremonies, I should reiterate that we were doing it for a competition that was coming up. We were under a lot of pressure. We were essentially told about 6 months in advance, hey, you need to, less than 6 months in advance, you need to memorize this really long script and perform it flawlessly so that you can win this competition. We were going up against a group who, well, they ended up not competing, but a group who had a history of being one of the best in the country. And so we had a lot of pressure on us. And, you know, and so we come into this thing and like, even like the past couple of weeks, we're still working on projecting and all that sort of stuff. And we get to the competition itself and I'm like messing up my lines. I'm so nervous, but I look over, I'm like watching everyone else and Sam and Alex are just nailing it. They're projecting perfectly. And pretty much I was the one dragging the team down, which was, you know, a moment of, you know, I felt bad, but also I was very proud to watch them really come into their own and really become the mighty chief and now an eagle. Congratulations, by the way, I didn't get to say that because I was late. But yeah, and so that was like my first main interaction with Sam, and just watching him grow as a scout and as a performer and really become the mighty chief. It's no surprise to me that he's now an eagle because he's the mighty chief. So congrats, Sam. Thank you for having me, and sorry I was late.
Are there any other people who would like to share a quick story? Yes?
Hi, everybody. My name is Pablo. I know Sam since he was in a patrol, Pack 27. And what I want to mention about him is his presence. I mean, obviously because of his size, but because of his attitude. We're going to do any camping, we're going to do any activity, we're going to do anything at all. He was always there participating. Like a referent. It's like something that you look, if you are kind of lost, and he's right there. Like, I don't know, like a lighthouse in the middle of a storm, not like a sparkle kind of fireworks. He's permanent, he was there. It's one of the things we are going to miss a lot of this gentleman in the troop, his presence, his participation, his how a Boy Scout looks like. There you have it, just like that. But being part of the program, enjoying the program, having fun with the program, and just, you know, going step by step all the way through Eagle, this is how you do it. And I wanted to point it out because a lot of us are like, so Boy Scouts is fun, because how you do things, because this is how he did it. How far you can go is right there another reference. So I wanted to point out a little kid I saw, well, he was never little, but a kid I saw a long time ago, and now how he has tried and become this gentleman pursuing goals and stuff is just super awesome, inspiring. But for me, for Remy, he's a teenager. Hopefully he looks up and check it out. And then for all the other guys to say how you do things, just please look. These guys out there are present. They can enjoy the program and have a lot of fun. It was a pleasure, sir.
Do we have any other people?
I'd like to say a few. So I had the pleasure of getting to know Sam through the troop. When we came into the troop, he was one of the kind of standout scouts, something I noticed all the time. But he was consistently there, and that's a really, really important part of being part of the troop, is to be there every week doing your work. But I got to know him more recently on some crazy adventures, and I really came to appreciate your courage. And it's something I didn't mention at the outset, but it's something I really see in you. Sam stepped out of his comfort zones to do some really crazy adventures. And we did a backpacking trek at Lost Coast that was out of control. And it was a really, really challenging, difficult trek. And Sam just brought so much fun to that trip. It was interesting, but I know that was outside of your comfort zone. And we do a ton of backpacking and hiking in this troop. It's a very kind of physical, high adventure troop. And he brought just so much courage to that trip, but he didn't stop there. He actually signed up for the canoeing trip that Jack was just talking about, which was totally out of control. It was one of the most challenging things I've ever been part of. And the way Sam tackled that was, it was steadfast and courageous, but it was also fun. He discovered the pleasures of foot powder in the backcountry and just found ways to be comfortable and be happy in the weirdest of environments where we were wet all the time, at risk, and carrying unbelievable loads. It would have been a very different trip without you. Thank you for that. But more recently, we did the Philmont trip. Same thing. And Sam is really stepping out of his comfort zone to do these trips. They're really, really challenging, and they take a lot of prep. And so you do shakedown trips before a trip like this. And we did one out of Camp Marin Sierra, which is the place where our scouts go over their summer camp. And I could see it. We were walking through camp to start our trek. And all the scouts kind of noticed the trading post and all the familiar places they used to hang out when they were at summer camp. And Sam just lit up. And just like someone else mentioned, it was a chance to kind of hang on to the fun that you've had, I think, in scouting throughout your journey with the troop. And, sure enough, at the tail end of that little trip, we're back at the trading post, getting, frozen treats and all kinds of nonsense. And it was like the coolest thing to see a scout who'd gone through the entire arc and picked everything that you can pick up from the troop experience and still be enjoying it and loving it and looking forward to giving back. And you came back that summer as an adult leader. And, that really, just made my heart throb. I think you're an amazing dude. Congratulations. You've really earned it. And you're an exemplary eagle. Congratulations, Sam.
Are there any more?
This is one of those moments where which one of us is not like the other. I am Sam's swim coach, and when I got invited to this, I was really touched because I'm not a family friend. I'm not family. I know what you're probably thinking. I didn't make the guest list. I know it was your mom. And I've been sitting and listening to all these stories, and I'm thinking, this is not the Sam I had at swimming. The Sam I had at swimming didn't really want to be there, never on time. But the one thing he showed that now is a common theme is his presence and how you were a leader through your actions. I could count on you anytime in a race to get up and give your best. I could count on you to support your teammates. I could count on you to give your spot on the relay to someone else if it meant something to them. I could count on you to silently stand on that pool deck and cheer your teammates on. So I see why you are who you are, listening to these stories. And when you asked me to write the letter of recommendation for this, I've never been more impressed with what you and your other Eagle Scouts have to do to accomplish it. I am impressed by you for many, many reasons. You've always been one of my most special swimmers just because of who you are. And I'm very grateful I was here to celebrate this with you.
Are there any last ones? So I have a really quick one to share, if I may, where you may have heard in the past how during COVID, the people of the Order of the Arrow made these videos to promote camping and to kind of get as many people into the Order of the Arrow as we could, and even scouting during the time when we couldn't meet in person. And Sam was kind of spearheading the operation to make these videos. And I remember one time we were filming, it was a pretty long, it was our brotherhood ceremony. And if you've seen it, you know it's pretty long when it's about 40-ish minutes. And we have to do it in one take. It would be very difficult to just shoot one scene and then do another one. So we had to do these whole runs. And as anyone can attest, it's a really long one. So if we have to redo it, it's really annoying. And this one take, it's going really well. No one's slipped up that bad. People that were improvising did it well enough. And we get to the last few lines of the ceremony. And as we're thinking this is going really well, we hear a klaxon alarm coming from Sam's pocket. And it turns out his mom was calling him in the middle of the ceremony. Well, not in the middle, at the very end of the ceremony. And everyone just grinds to a halt. We all just stare at Sam as he answers the phone. And then when he hangs up, we're like, Sam, do you know what you just did? So we then shoot the video all over again. And we got it right. But I just want to say congratulations, Sam. It's been an honor being in Scout with you. I met you through the Order of the Arrow, and we've gotten along great since then. We're good friends. But that's what I just wanted to share, kind of bring some laughter to this. But again, congratulations, and I hope you succeed in your life, which seems to be being a pilot. So that's pretty cool. Seeing no other stories, if there's any others, I would like to begin the presentation of the Eagle Scout Award. So I'd like to ask Troop 73 Scoutmaster Master Schnazi and former Troop 73 Committee Chair Tyler Agerman to please come forward and make the presentation.
Thank you, Alex. Now we have my favorite part of giving the Eagle Scout Award up here. So let's have the Eagle Scout come up, stand in front of everyone. Present. Thank you. The Eagle Scout Award is earned by the scout who has demonstrated leadership in their troop, obtained the knowledge and the ability to teach scout skills, shown willingness to serve their community. And the Eagle Scout Award is the highest rank a Boy Scout can achieve and the highest honor that the troop can bestow. So Sam, just like your progress along this trail, you did not do it alone. Your fellow patrol and troop members assisted you greatly. Your friends and your community supported you while you completed your service project with the troop, but your parents supported you through it all. And at this time, I'd like to ask them to come up. As you know, your mom, Jill, has been very involved with your journey to Eagle, including serving as a committee member for both your Cub and Boy Scout troop. And I'd like your mother to pin your Eagle medal onto your uniform. You got this, Joe.
I got it.
Yeah. All right. In recognition of your mother's devotion, please present her with this Eagle Mother's Pen. The final one. You've got them all. Beautiful. Your dad, Joe, has been at your side since you were a Tiger Cub, loving every pack meeting and overnight adventure. More recently, he's been the source of much advice and guidance along the Eagle Trail. And so I'd like him to present the Eagle Scout certificate to you. Nice. In return, maybe your mom can hold that for a moment. Here's the father's pen. Please present it and pin it on your dad. And, right. And why don't you take your masks off so you can get a few pictures together with the certificate from Mason. Excellent, congratulations. Hanging out. Why don't I hold up here over the back in a few minutes? Mr. Schnauzer, please take over.
So Sam, during your time in scouting, you have learned and lived by many codes. You remember the Cub Scout sign and the Cub Scout promise, right? The pack will help the Cub Scout grow. And the law of the pack, the Cub Scout motto, and of course the Scout oath and Scout law, the motto and slogan of the outgrowth code. Today, you'll repeat the Eagle Scout promise. Some of the words will be unfamiliar, but as you live out your life as an Eagle, they too will become a part of you. Making that new promise does not mean that you should forget all of the other promises. Instead, I challenge you to always remember and live by all of those promises that you've made as a scout, all the codes that you've agreed to follow. And note, when you pledge on this last phrase of this promise, you will be sealing your oath with the words which close the Declaration of Independence. I'd like all Eagle Scouts in the room, in the audience, to stand at this time and rededicate themselves by repeating the Eagle Scout promise with our new Eagle Scout. Everyone, please make the Scout sign. Repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance.
I reaffirm my allegiance
To the three promises of the Scout Oath.
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout.
the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout.
On my honor, I will do my best
On my honor, I will do my best
to make my training and example,
to make my training and example,
my rank and my influence
my rank and my influence
count strongly for the better scouting
count strongly for the better of scouting
and for better citizenship
and for better citizenship
in my troop,
in my troop,
in my community,
in my community,
and in my contacts with other people.
and in my contacts with other people.
To this, I pledge my sacred honor.
To this, I pledge my sacred honor.
Two. On behalf of all of the Scouts and the adults of Troop 73, I wish to congratulate you. We are very proud of your achievements and equally proud of the progress along the Scouting trail. It's our honor to present you with this. It's a very special Eagle polo, and I hope you'll wear this with pride and wherever you go. All right. And now, it gives me great pleasure to present our newest Eagle Scout, Sam Silvestri. And now I think Sam has a few words that he'd like to share.
This is my turn now. Thank you everyone for coming. I know this seems like just a regular ceremony or simple ceremony to you non-involved scouts, but to those who are, such as my fellow scouts, my family, we know how important this is. I joined scouts way back in 2009, you do the math, as a Tiger Cub. And I vividly remember the first time I saw an Eagle Scout. We were at a den meeting and one of the scouts, older brothers of one of the scouts in my den came by and we saw the Eagle Scout badge on him and we all asked him about it and he explained what Eagle Scout was. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, that's cool. I want to become an Eagle Scout. This should be easy. How hard can it be?
I was wrong.
It was not easy and it was pretty hard. And honestly, I don't think I would have gotten this far if it wasn't for Troop 73 and the awesome scouts and leaders I met while in it. And Troop 73 has a rather high output of Eagle Scouts, as you saw. And I honestly don't think, almost every older scout I knew when I first joined became an Eagle Scout, which I thought was pretty cool. And every time I go to one of the Court of Honors and all the speakers explain how rare it is to become an Eagle Scout, I'm always like, really? But I think that's just because there's so many Eagle Scouts from our troop that become Eagles. So I thought that was pretty cool. And if there's one bit of advice I can give to anyone here who's working on an Eagle, is do not wait till the last minute. I'm sure everyone here can second me on that. But while I'm still up here, I would like to give out my Eagle Challenge coin and mentor pins. The Eagle Challenge coin is something we Eagles give out to a younger scout who we believe can become an Eagle and sort of give them a little extra push, a challenge. I myself never actually received a challenge coin, so that tells you something about me. There you go. But I would like to give this challenge coin to a scout who I've seen grow through the years. He went from being the little annoying first year that no one really likes to now being like a mature, good leader of the troop who regularly volunteers on outings. He regularly leads and attends troop outings, is now a member of the Order of the Arrow, and also was a major help in working on the Eagle Scout project. And honestly, I'm surprised he's not an Eagle Scout yet. Also, I don't think he's here. Garrett Farber? No, I don't think he's here. Oh. So, the next thing I would like to give out are the mentor pins. These are pins I give to my mentors. The first person I'd like to give one to is someone who has been through a lot with me and has taught me countless skills on our countless adventures, from short 2-night or 1-night backpacking trips all the way to Northern Tier and Philmont, and through countless OA weekends at the Tang Rancho, and just been there through the Lost Coast and taught me several things. And he's been a major part of my scouting career, Mr. Nestor Schnauze. Would you please come up? The next person I'd like to give a mentor pin to is someone who has had a major impact, also has a major impact on my scouting career, yet in a similar but different way. Once I was inducted in the Order of the Arrow, I sort of left the troop behind and sort of dedicated myself to the lodge. And when I joined the ceremonies team, he really showed me how to become a better person, better member of the ceremonies team. And he's also just a really amazing speaker, and I can honestly just listen to him for hours on end. Ryan Moynihan, would you please come up? I'd also like to give a shout out to 2 more leaders who have had a big influence on my scouting career, one of which I don't believe is here right now. And those are Mr. Ned Farkoff and Mr. Peter Kohlenbrander. Mr. Farkoff and I have also been through a lot, from Jamboree all the way to recently Philmont, and helped me through ceremonies as my advisor on the ceremonies team, as well as several service weekends up at Tang Rancho. And honestly, his mustache deserves a award on its own, as you saw. Who's not here, unfortunately, hasn't had the biggest influence on my scouting career, but more like on my life in general. But a few years ago, he started an aviation explorers post in Nevada, which I learned about through scouts. And in this post, we went on several outings to all kinds of cool aviation-related places, such as air shows, museums, and even visited the air traffic control tower at Oakland Airport, which was really cool. And the cool part is we actually flew to most of these places from Nelsfield here in Nevada in his plane. And if it weren't for Mr. Kohlenbrander and starting this post, I probably wouldn't probably wouldn't still be as interested in aviation as I am now. So thanks to him. Last thing I'd like to give out is a grandparents. I'm sure most of you didn't even know this existed because I've never seen anyone else give one of these out. All my grandparents were always super supportive of my scouting career, but I'd like to give this to my grandfather, Al Silvestri, who's right here, who helped sponsor several of my big scouting adventures, including like Northern Twin Falls. Without another, Alex.
Where's the script going? There it is. Again, my congratulations to Sam and everyone he's given his pins and coins and all that stuff too. Now, a tradition in Troop 73, I'm not from Troop 73, so I have no idea, is the passing of the Eagle Flame. Now, will all Eagle Scouts present please come up and join our newest Eagle in a line from most experienced to our least experienced over there. And one by one, as the flame comes to your candle, please state your name, the troop you got your Eagle, the city you got your Eagle, and the year you got your Eagle as the flame is passed down the line.
I'm not sure we have candles.
You do have candles. So everyone please take a candle.
Pass it down.
Yeah, pass the bucket. And I will light the candle and then grab my own.
Yeah.
As
All right, I'll start as the most experienced. My name is Tyler Hagerman. I was in Troop 204 in Lafayette, California, and I got my Eagle in 1990.
I'm Kenny Larson. I earned my Eagle right here in Troop 73 on March 19th, 2015.
I'm Ryan Moynihan. I earned mine in Centerville, California with Troop 38 on June 23rd, 2017.
My name is Haskin Wilson. I earned my Eagle on July 22nd, 2019 with Troop 73. Dante Dumas, right here in Troop 73, and August 6th, 2019. All right, I am Riley Dumas, Troop 73, Nevada, California, February 22nd, 2020.
Sam Silvestri, Troop 73, June 2nd, 2020.
Alex Perry, Mill Valley Troop 1, August 8th, 2021.
Jack Hagerman, Troop 73, August 9th, 2021.
Ryan Hagerman, Troop 73, also August 9th, 2021. So half an hour later.
All right, good job, everyone.
I'll now call up Mr. Coronado once again to close this national quarter line.
Thank you, Alex. Once again, congratulations, Sam. It's a pleasure. On behalf of the Marine Council, the National Office of Boy Scouts of America, I close these quarter lines. Thank you.
We'll now have our closing flags, and then afterwards, please join us for refreshments and cake in the room at the end of the hall. But now, company attention, please rise. Color guard attention, color guard advance.
March. Forward, march.
Color guard, retrieve the colors. Color guard, reform. Color guard dismissed.
March.
Color guard at ease, company at ease. Everyone?
Very good. And it's like, and I just go. You know, I can cook something else.